Donald Trump has made a political career for himself by just denying basic aspects of his opponents' lives with no just cause. He denied that Obama was a Christian and a natural-born American. He denied that Kamala Harris is black, and he's denied that she has ever worked in a McDonald's. Now he's going to work in a McDonald's for maybe 30 minutes or so as a fry cook. At least according to his team, it is in the works.
She's a liar. She doesn't work at McDonald's. She said she worked at McDonald's, right? Right? She worked at McDonald's and she was working so hard. There's only one problem. She didn't work at McDonald's. She's a liar.
Worked hard at McDonald's for a long time. I worked over the French fry bin. You know what I'm doing next week? I'm going to a McDonald's to work. Because if I work there for 10 minutes, I will have worked there longer than her.
But he's not doing this because he really wants to empathize with the plight of the minimum wage worker in this country. He's the guy who doesn't pay his contractors. He owes Rudy Giuliani millions of dollars in unpaid legal fees. He does not care about whether or not people get paid, how much they get paid, or whether or not they can live off of the amount that they are paid.
How are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful looking group of people. So I know this menu better than you do, okay? I probably know it better than anybody in here.
This is obviously a political stunt. I don't need to tell you that. He won't have to apply for a job and interview for it and agonize over whether or not he got that job, because getting the job is the difference between paying his bills that month and not being able to do so. He won't have to stand on his feet for hours at a time, with everything from his lunchtime to his bathroom breaks closely monitored and policed. He won't have to deal with unruly customers without the ability to speak up for himself, because doing so might cost him the job that he can't afford to lose. And he won't see his physical health suffer because shift work is inherently unnatural for human beings. He won't have to do any of that. He's going to play poor person for half an hour, all while knowing that he isn't actually poor, and that his worth to the world is arguably more significant than that of all minimum wage workers combined, at least to people like him. And what a privilege that knowing is.
The Mercedes-Benz will start building in the United States, and they have a little bit, but you know what they really are? Assembly, like in South Carolina. But they build everything in Germany, and then they assemble it here. They get away with murder because they say, oh yes, we're building cars. They don't build cars. They take them out of a box and they assemble them. We could have our child do it.
You referenced your conversation with Elon Musk earlier this week. I want to ask you about that. You praise how he treats workers, saying they go on strike and you say that's okay, you're all gone, so every one of you is gone. Are you really comfortable with companies threatening to fire workers who go on strike?
Well, no, I want companies to get workers that are going to love them and work for a wage that lets the company make a profit so they can go and expand. In that case, they moved, as you know, they moved the company from California, Elon, from California to Texas, because they were able to get things that California wouldn't give.
But if Donald Trump actually goes through with this, do you think it's going to change him? Does anyone think it will bestow upon him the perspective that he is so painfully lacking? Will he suddenly feel solidarity? Actual solidarity, not pretend solidarity because he needs votes, with people who he considers to be lesser than? No, of course not. He's going to stand in front of a fryer with cameras in his face, glad-handing with his cult members who will no doubt be clogging up the drive-thru window. It will just be another egoic moment for him, and you know he loves those. But Trump's affinity for McDonald's is nothing new. We all remember when he fed the Clemson football team McDonald's during their visit to the White House.
Do you prefer McDonald's or Wendy's?
I like them all.
That's a tough question.
If it's American, I like it. It's all American stuff. So, but it's good stuff. And we have the national champion team, as you know, Clemson Tigers. And they had a fantastic game against Alabama. And they're all here. They're right outside the room. And I think we're going to let you see them. But I'll bet you as much food as we have. We have pizzas. We have 300 hamburgers, many French fries. All of our favorite foods. I want to see what's here when we leave, because I don't think it's going to be much.
And then he did it again with the North Dakota State football team.
The Bison football team has achieved something truly remarkable.
And the fact that he eats a lot of fast food isn't a secret either. His son, Don Jr., said that no one has eaten more McDonald's per capita than his father, and that no one knows the McDonald's menu better than his dad. And there have been suggestions that he eats so much fast food because he's afraid of being poisoned. His logic there is that if it's being served to the masses, it's probably not poisoned. One would hope. His campaign has reportedly spent over $35,000 in 113 transactions on fast food and catering in just the month of May 2024, with nearly $5,000 of that being spent at McDonald's, more than at any other restaurant. Other popular chains for the campaign were Starbucks and Chick-fil-A. Comparatively, the then Biden campaign spent about the same amount that month, but on just 17 transactions at higher-end and independent restaurants. But speaking of Chick-fil-A, apparently McDonald's and Chick-fil-A are the preferred fast food joints for Republicans, whereas Panera is preferred for Democrats. I wouldn't necessarily loop Panera in with other more traditional fast food chains, but that is apparently valuable information for the voting public to have leading up to a presidential election. Anyway, this has been fun to talk about because it's so ridiculous, but I've got to mention the fact that McDonald's sales have been suffering lately, as many people have been boycotting its restaurants over its support of Israel. McDonald's seems to blame their lackluster sales on Muslims specifically, ignoring the fact that it's not just Muslims who have been boycotting their restaurants. Anyone who does not support Netanyahu or the IDF or the atrocities in Gaza have been boycotting McDonald's. The boycott started around the time when it was made public that an Israeli McDonald's franchisee was donating free meals to the Israeli military. McDonald's then bought back all 225 restaurants from that franchisee, but released a statement saying the company remains committed to the Israeli market and to ensuring a positive employee and customer experience in the market going forward. So of course, Trump is trying to pull political stunts in October. Why wouldn't he? This is the kind of thing that just happens in October of election years. It's not much of a headline. But if anyone is hoping for any kind of empathy or deeper understanding or compassion to come from Trump's potential fast food experience, you should prepare to be disappointed. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this, please like the video, subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks.